little learners. How are you going? I hope you must be going very well, must be doing your studies very good. Okay, so students, today we are going to explore the second chapter of class 3rd, that is about plants and animals. Okay, so students, our earth, our surroundings are covered with the very beautiful creatures of the nature known as plants and animals. We can observe these plants and animals almost everywhere on the earth. Okay, they are very useful to us in many different ways and they make our environment green, beautiful, and also easy to survive. Right? So let us learn about this chapter today in this session. See, students, first of all, the learning objectives of this chapter is that we are going to learn the basic difference between plants and animals. Okay? And then, secondly, we are also going to learn the interdependency of plants and animals, means that how these plants and animals are interdependent on each other in our environment. Okay? See, so first of all, they have given you an activity to do. What you have to do? Circle the plants with red color and animals with green color. So what you have to do? You have to circle all those pictures which are of plants with red color and all those pictures of animals with green color. Okay. So you can see this and this thing. These three are plants. So we are going to what? Circle them with red color. As we can easily uh, detect them because plants are mostly of green color only. So they are very easy to we find out. Okay. But then they have given you some pictures of animals which needs to be circled by green color. So rest on the remaining, that means this hen, this fish, this horse, and again this bird is animal and we have color it with what? The green color. See, now plants and animals both are living things, right? We know that the plants, animals all are what? Living things. And in the previous chapter of the session, we have read some basic characteristics of all the living things and the non-living things, right? Human beings, plants, animals. What are these? These are living things. Okay, these are the features of living things. And if we talk about chair, book, table, pen, pencil, fan, desk, all these are non-living things. See, however, plants and animals are different in many ways. Let us learn about them. So in this chapter, we are going to learn the basic differentiation between plants and animals. See, so the very first topic is difference between plants and animals. And the first basis of differentiation is what? Movement, right? See, animals can freely move from one place to another, right? As we have discussed that animals are living beings, so they can easily move from one place to another, right? But they show different types of movement. Means every animal has its different behavior of movement. Like some animals crawl, some walk, some run, some swim, and some even fly also. Animals move in search of food, water, and shelter or to escape from animals. That means if someone asks that why do animals move? So we can give the answer that these are the reasons of movement shown by the animals. That means they move in search of food, water, shelter, and also to protect or escape themselves from their enemies. And this movement of animal is called locomotion. Okay, you can see this is a tiger running, this is a bird flying, and this is a sunflower which is facing the sun. Okay, it is also a type of movement shown by the plants. Now, let us talk about plants. So, plants do not show such movement. They always remain fixed to the ground, fixed to a particular place. They do not move from a particular place to another place. But some movements can be easily noticed in some parts of the plants. Okay, like what? The roots, the underground part of the plant. It shows the movement. How? That it always grows inside the ground. And the stem part, which is above the ground, it grows upwards. That means above the soil. Then there are some plants like sunflower, as I have shown you in the picture also. Plant we have discussed in the previous chapter also about this plant. Okay, all these are the types of plant which shows other types of movements. Why? Because these are plants, these are living things, and living things can show movement. Okay, now secondly, we have food. Okay, so as we know that plants can make their own food. In fact, plants are the only living things which can make their own food. How? By using water, sunlight, and air. Right? Then, next, if we talk about animals are living things, means what? They also need food, but they cannot make their own food. Why? Because they are directly or indirectly dependent on the plants for their food. Okay? See, animals cannot make their food. They depend on plants and the other animals for food. You can see this is a green plant which can prepare its own food. But this is a deer which is eating the grass. Means what? It is dependable. It is dependent on what? The grass, a type of plant. Third is breathing. So all living things need to breathe to stay alive, right? Every living being need to breathe to stay alive. Animals differ in their ways of breathing, but every different animal has its own way of breathing. Like some animals, there are some animals which breathe through the nostrils. Like human beings, they are also the animals only. Human beings are the most developed animal on the earth. And we all breathe through our nostrils. Then if we talk about insects breathe through the very tiny holes which are present on their skin. They breathe through that only. Then fishes breathe through the special organ known as gills. Animals breathe in oxygen from air and breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, so the process of animals breathing goes on how that from the air they intake oxygen gas and then in return they breathe out carbon dioxide gas back into the atmosphere. Then the plants, they are also living beings. That means they also breathe. But they have another special openings for breathing. What they have? They breathe through small openings present on the surface of their leaves, and these openings are called stomata. Okay, these are the lungs of the human beings by which they breathe. These are the gills present in the fishes for the breathing purpose. And these are the tiny pores or the small openings present on the surface of the leaves through which all these plants breathe. And these plants openings through which they breathe are known as stomata. Okay. Next, what we have? Sense organ. Okay, so like humans, as we have discussed earlier also, that we as a human being, as a living being, we have what? Five major sense organ: eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. So like humans, animals also have sense organs. All the animals also have sense organ, that is eyes, ears, skin, nose, and tongue. What does these sense organ help us? These sense organ help us to feel and respond to the changing environment. We can feel our surroundings, we can feel our environment, and all the other animals also through these sense organs only, and then we are able to respond to our environment or to that changing environment. Plants do not have sense organ. If we talk about plants, so they are living things, they can feel, they can respond, but they do not have sense organ similar to uh, animals or the human beings. Okay, they have given you that plants do not have sense organ, but they respond to their surrounding. Same example, that is of touch me not plant. Okay, now next we have what? Reproduction. So we know that animals also reproduce and plants can also reproduce, but both have the different ways of reproducing. Okay, so let us talk about animals. So animals have two ways to reproduce. Number one, they can either give birth to their young ones directly. Okay, and second is by laying eggs. Okay, and through those eggs only, their young ones hatch out. So we have animals like snake, birds. What does they do? They lay eggs. And if we talk about dogs, cat, cows, etc., they do not lay eggs. Instead, they give birth to their young ones directly. Okay, so these are the two ways of reproduction in the animals. Now let us talk about plants. So plants reproduce through their seeds, stems and leaves. Means what? That plants uses their different body parts to reproduce. Like they have seed, stem and leaves. Okay. Through roots also the plants can reproduce. See, rose plant. If we talk about rose plant, they grows from the stem. Potato, they grow from the roots, and peas from the seeds. You can see this is a snake and these are its eggs. Okay, this is a sheep and this is its limb. Animals that give birth to their young ones are called mammals. All those animals which give directly birth to their young ones, those animals are known as mammals. Okay, so that was the basic differentiation between plants and animals. Now, let's talk about the next topic, that is relationship between plants and animals. So students, as I told you that all the plants and animals in our nature are dependent on each other. They have a relationship among each other. See, plants differ from animals, but they both depend upon each other for survival. That means although they are different from each other, but still they depend on each other for their survival. How? See, they depend upon each other because each provides something to fulfill the other's need, and this is known as interdependence. Okay, some things are there which are provided by the plants to the animals, and there are some needs which are fulfilled by the animals as that of plants. So this relationship of depending of one particular organism on the other and the other also is dependent on the first, this is known as interdependence. And thus we can say that all the plants and animals are interdependent on each other. Okay, how? See, they have shown you like what this is the animal. Animals, what does they do? They take in oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide is used by the plants. For what? To prepare their food. Okay, plants prepare their food with the help of carbon dioxide also. It is a type of raw material for the preparation of food by the plants. And in return, the plants provide them oxygen. Okay, the plants provide oxygen which is used by the animals or the human beings for their breathing purpose. So this is just an example of a small type of dependency of plants and animals on each other. Okay, see, we have given you animals breathe in oxygen and releases carbon dioxide during breathing. I told you, animals breathe in oxygen and they release carbon dioxide gas during their breathing process. While the plants take in carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis. What is the photosynthesis? So photosynthesis is a process by which plants prepare their own food. Or we can say the food making process of plant is known as photosynthesis. So the carbon dioxide which is released by the animals during their breathing process, that carbon dioxide gas is intaked by the plants for their process of photosynthesis, right? And this is how the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases is maintained in our atmosphere. Animals depend on plants for their food. As I told you, that every animal is dependent directly or indirectly on the plants only for their food, as they cannot prepare their food. Thus, interdependence between plants and animal creates a balance in nature. Okay, this is the interdependency between the plants and animals which creates a balance in nature. See, carbon dioxide, which is a harmful gas, okay, it is because of its harmful nature, it should be removed from the air regularly. Okay, and who does this job? Plants are responsible for this job. How? Because they intake that carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and use it for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, and thus we can say that plants are the creatures which purify the air. Okay, without this, the air would get much polluted with carbon dioxide, which would make life impossible on the earth. If there were no plants, then the carbon dioxide concentration will get increased day by day on the surface of the earth, and our environment, our air would get polluted with carbon dioxide gas, and it would lead to impossibility of life on the earth. And thus, we can say that we should plant more and more trees. We should conserve the plants and trees around us because they help to purify the air around us. They help to make our environment clean and healthy. Okay? Now, so the chapter is completed over here. That was all the difference between plants and animals. And now you are very aware of the distinct features of these living things and also the interdependency of plants and animals on each other. So now you have the very, very important motto, that is what? That we should save plants, we should conserve trees, and also we should try to maintain a balance in our nature by conserving all the trees, all the plants around us. Okay, so let's meet in the next session. Till then, keep going well, and thanks to everyone.